What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of our Dynasty Spotlight series here at Masters Fantasy Football. Next up, we got Dolphins tight end Hunter Long. Was about the 17th pick of the third round. I think that makes it 81 overall, if that's right.
Yeah, sounds right.
We got him about 6'5", 255 pounds, somewhere in that range. Out of Boston College. Dak, break it down. Go on the Dolphins.
So I actually like Hunter Long a lot. Being a Notre Dame fan, I saw Boston College a couple of times, and he's a horse, and he's a heck of a receiver too. He can do it all. Not going to blow you away with athleticism or anything like that, like some of the other tight ends in this draft, but he's a very solid player. And, overall, it's kind of a shame to me that he went to a place that also has another, up-and-coming good tight end in the Miami Dolphins. But I do think he has a tiny role in that offense, and I think he's going to be, someone that Tua can utilize as a safety blanket. But that being said, that's more real football. When it comes to fantasy, the fact that Gesicki's there, the fact that they take Jalen Waddle, I don't really expect a ton of value from him as much as I think he's a good player and would probably, start on some of the teams in the NFL. I just don't really see a huge role for him just for those reasons, which, again, is unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way it goes.
Right, I agree. I don't see a huge fantasy role. The only positive thing from a fantasy perspective that I kind of come up with is, one of the big knocks on a lot of rookie running backs is, they can't pass protect, so they're not going to be on the field.
Right.
I think he's going to have a decent role as a blocking tight end. We know Mike Gesicki's actually used a ton in the slot, so maybe they do really value Hunter Long as a blocker. They took him in the third round, showing so maybe he just is on the field and creates some opportunities. Now, obviously, without an injury to Gesicki, is he really fantasy relevant in the tight end position? Highly doubt it, at least now, but a lot can change. So
yeah, that is the good thing too, because even though he is a good blocker, but it's not like he's a liability in the passing game.
Yeah.
So he'll get opportunities, but will he ever get enough to be worth it? Will he ever be start worthy? I don't think so. Again, unless something happens to Gesicki, but obviously you can't predict those things.
Sure. So you've in your 3-round typical rookie draft, you see yourself touching him?
Again, I like him as a player, but I can't really see myself taking a backup tight end.
I agree.
But, he's someone I'll keep my eye on for sure, just to see how they utilize him.
Completely agree, yep.
Yeah, and with that, there's no real need to talk about,
comps,
fresh startup or anything like that. Because he's most likely not going to play a ton.
Yeah.
But, again, someone to keep your eye on, very solid player. And I could see him doing some good things. I just don't know if it'll ever be consistent enough to warrant a roster spot. But
right. Especially here at Masters, our roster is about 20 spots long. I know there's some crazy dynasty leagues out there with extra big rosters. So, maybe if you're a Gesicki owner, you pick him up, kind of handcuff the tight end position if your roster is super deep. But in a typical 20-man type roster, probably not the smartest use of a roster spot.
Yeah, probably not. But I think that's all we got for Hunter Long. So with that, MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com, the destination for Dynasty Fantasy Football. As always, you know that, I know that. Might as well just sign up for a league. And if you want, the Great Orphaning is on its way here. So all these orphan teams, previous owner paid your deposit. We've got, I think, over 500, I think is what JK said, just teams.
Yeah.
So there's plenty out there. And some of them, I've seen some of the rosters. There's some filthy ones out there. So get your way over to MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. Find one of those teams, get that Dynasty team, and play the best way to play fantasy football, which is Dynasty. And besides that, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening, guys.